Hello, and thank you for your interest as an instructional design coach here at Forward Edge. I'm Dr. Katie Ritter, and I'm the Chief Learning Officer and the founder of our Curriculum and Integration Department. You're probably wondering what a day in the life of one of our coaches is like, so let's listen to some of them describe what it's like to serve their school buildings with teachers and students, the amazing opportunities that go beyond our school buildings here at Forward Edge, and what it's like to be a part of a wonderful team that works together and is dedicated to growth and improving education.
Well, I will say, this is a question we get a lot, and none of our days are ever the same, either from the 7 days that or the 5 days that we spend working, or just day to day with each other. But if I had to kind of morph all of the things we do into a typical day, it's a lot of just talking with teachers and figuring out what challenges they're facing right now and how we can best support them, and then advocating on behalf of teachers to admin. So just a lot of conversation and problem solving actively. It's probably the commonality between all of our days.
So everyone's location is usually a little different for what school district you're in for a typical day of the coaching, but for mine, I'm actually at a vocational school, so it's a lot of working with the academic teachers, but also getting to check out some of the cool projects that are going on with the lab instructors, whether it's automotive or cosmetology or anything with aviation as well.
A typical day will vary for each of us, but my day usually consists of working with teachers on different ideas they have for using technology in their lessons. This might consist of not only designing a lesson plan, but co-teaching the lesson as well. I'll also create and deliver professional development sessions for the district staff and working with teachers on a more defined goal through coaching cycles.
So a coaching cycle is basically when you do any ongoing coaching with a teacher. Those can be informal, so if you just end up meeting with them kind of periodically or regularly, or you can create formal coaching cycles where teachers sign up. You kind of identify what the challenges they're having, and you problem solve and work forward, and it's just a really collaborative process where you get to help them drive towards their goals.
So there are a lot of other really cool projects that we do here at Forward Edge, and one thing that I really like is that we have a podcast. So I'm actually the podcast coordinator for the Restart Recharge podcast. We also get a lot of outside guests that have some huge followings too, that you meet at these major conferences such as ISTE and FETC and things like that you get a chance to actually talk with them on the podcast and get to see their perspective on certain topics too. So it's a really cool aspect that comes along with this, where we have a social media team, we have an editing team, everyone works together to really put this together.
So one of my favorite things is going to conferences. I have had the opportunity to go to Ohio's OATC, McCall in Michigan, and TCEA down in Texas. So 3 state regional types of conferences that were really cool. And in all 3, I got to present some sessions for tech with teachers, and in McCall and TCEA, I actually got to co-present with some of my Forward Edge colleagues.
And so being able to make some of those kind of connections with classroom teachers, with students, with people all up and down the echelons of education, and being able to make those connections and keep them again through social media, or just so that you have a toolbox of, hey, I know somebody who was dealing with something like this. Let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's see what they were doing and bring that back in. So being able to keep those kind of connections and make connections between people, that's a great part of being able to go to some of these conferences.
But then we also had a really cool experience this past summer where we all went down to New Orleans for the ISTE conference, but we as a team presented the Google Adaptive Learning Lab. And so that was a huge undertaking that we did together. We've got it ready here at the office, and then took the show on the road and had so much fun. Hopefully you got to see it if you were in ISTE.
Yeah, so the Google Adaptive Learning Lab was a room at ISTE that we led over 700 different educators, admin, and district level people through to really experience the Google Workspace for Education tools that are available, and really letting teachers experience them on a hero's journey, as we value all of our teachers and educators that we work with. So we wanted them to experience the different levels that all of these tools have to offer. We had 3 different acts. Act 1 really related to our teachers and our heroes in the sense of how they're planning out all of the material that they're going to be teaching and all the tools that they might need to work through that piece. Act 2, they got to go through this experience as a student, utilize some of the tools that were represented in Act 1, and continue through that process of how all of these tools will work in a classroom setting with students. The third act that all of our educators and stakeholders moved through was Act 3. And this was really built for feedback and reflection and showing how a lot of our Google Workspace for Education tools can be represented by looking at different data points that are available through a lot of our tools, how to utilize Google Meet to meet families, where they're at, even those families that may not have English as a first language, so that we're able to connect with all of them across the board.
In fact, our work on the Google Adaptive Learning Lab was so successful that we're continuing our partnership with Google for Education to present this for school districts and state education departments across the country.
Edu is a team-created platform where we develop badges for micro-credentialing. And each badge is worth points that can be redeemed for contact hours or for graduate credit. So this is just a way to not only support teachers, but actually see the impact of these tools and strategies in the classroom with students.
We have a coaching mentorship that allows coaches from schools across the country to work with us in a mentorship program. This allows us to provide support to other coaches and work together to collaborate on coaching ideas. We have also launched the EDU Coach Network, which provides a platform for coaches across the world to find a place to collaborate, brainstorm, and network together to find amazing support in the work they do.
We have fun, but it's a team. We've got a whole team that just really backs one another and supports one another.
So coming out of the classroom, one of the things that I was afraid that I would lose was working with a close, tight-knit team. But I found that on this team, even though we're working at separate schools, we get a lot of opportunities to collaborate together still. So one instance is like at conferences. You just get to work very close knit, just as I would have as a classroom teacher working on a team of teachers.
Here at Forward Edge, we really do stretch each other and work together, I think, as a cohesive unit. And the things that we're able to accomplish together collaboratively are so much greater than we could do on our own. And so I love seeing how each person's unique personality, how their own strengths, how their own ideas can all come together. And I'm proud to count myself as a member of the team. So that's definitely what I enjoy.
We love the work that we do in our schools through instructional coaching and ed tech. We love to have fun too, so please apply and see for yourself.